All right, we got disconnected. We got disconnected. Not sure what happened. I was in the middle of awesome LinkedIn strategy conversation there. All right, let's we'll bring it back. We'll bring it back. We'll make it happen. It's happening. Hold on. Let's get Marion back in here. Let me not die. Where's Marion? There he is. Okay, bringing him in. Waiting on Marion. Welcome back. We're doing live Q&A.
We're back.
What
I don't know.
happened?
I don't know. I just literally I was bounced out of the chat. We were talking about what, LinkedIn, right?
Yeah. So I would send messages and to people who are in that city who were connected to me, and I would just ask for their support. Like, I don't know. I'm not super connected in the Dallas area. Do you know anybody I should be connecting to? And it led to so many opportunities, especially when you have any kind of coverage. So Dallas was, I had way more opportunities than I even had time for, and I had 5 full days to be in Dallas. We had the smaller cities were hard and still irrelevant. It still depends on how many people you actually know, how many connected to. So Boston, we're doing it. We're going to do it in Boston, right? Like, hey, I know Marion's in Boston, and I can think of a few other people who are in Boston, and I could say, hey, Marion, if there's any events or any groups you think I should be a part of, please let me know. But I'm also connected to like 300 other people in Boston on LinkedIn. And I'm sure on Facebook, and I'm sure on Instagram too. I just have no idea who they are. And LinkedIn
So just
tells
ask
you.
the question. Yeah, no, I love that.
It's a huge opportunity, I think, for anybody who's doing local stuff.
Love it. So now I can see all the questions that were before, so I apologize if I miss any, but I know one of them that, Evan, I know you love it. I can't remember exactly who asked it, but somebody said, can I use pre-roll ads to grow my YouTube subscribers?
Hey now!
I'll just let you answer it right away because I know I've asked you even this one, because I know how to run, like, pretty much on YouTube. I can target whoever I want. I know how to do it. I know all that. And I've even done it a couple of times specifically to grow my YouTube channel. But then when I asked you when I was in Toronto, you said, like, no, don't do it. It's not the pre-roll ads, right? Because you would just send people into the actual URL of subscribing, but then people will subscribe and they probably won't watch it next. So no, I wouldn't necessarily think now. If you would have asked me this last year from a tactical standpoint, yeah, I mean, it's the easier and the cheapest way to get real people. So now, not bots, not fake subscribers. You're not going and buying crap robots from from the internet. You can run pre-roll ad from a tactical standpoint and target pretty much every channel to get real people to click on the subscribe button. But as Evan even said a couple of months ago to me, don't try to do that because you'll get it. You'll get the people to subscribe probably, but they won't want your content, so that will hurt your channel long term. Right?
Yeah, so how the YouTube algorithm will work is if somebody subscribes to your channel, YouTube will send out the video to your subscribers first. And if they like it, then they'll show it to more people. And if they like it, then they'll show it to even more people. And then if they like it, then it goes to the wide YouTube audience. If you have a bunch of subscribers that you either bought, which is the worst, right? I mean, at least with paid ads, you're
get real people.
They're people, right? It's not just a bot. But if you have subscribers who are not engaged, when a video goes up, it's going to go to a percentage of them. Say like it goes to a quarter of your audience. If they're not watching it, that's the end of your video. It's gone. YouTube stops promoting it. They're saying, hey, YouTube's logic. If your own subscribers are not watching the video, why should we send it to more people? So at the beginning, it's really important that you're getting people who are actually watching the content that's coming up. Pre-roll is typically the hardest, the worst way to do it. If I'm doing ads, I have a strategy called the bridge technique, bridge audience technique. It's in my YouTube course. When I showed it to Marion, he started freaking out because Marion's Marion he loves the advanced tactics, hacks. He's the paid guy. Where basically what you're doing is you hack somebody else's audience. So Marion had a great example where he had Dan Locke on his channel. And so he did the interview with Dan Locke. The strategy is you run an unlisted video campaign against that video that targets Dan Locke's audience, so that when people see the video on Dan Locke's channel, they watch the ad, then they subscribe to the channel because they're going to watch other videos on your channel. And so you can hack other people's audiences. I'm a big fan of that, but I would do it through suggested unlisted videos as opposed to pre-roll.
Yeah, and then another mistake that I was making, and I thought, because a lot of people were saying, hey, in the first 48 hours, get as many views as possible, because if not, YouTube is not going to promote you. So I was just pushing those 48 hours with ads, and that was hurting the channel too.
We got John Asraf in the house. Welcome aboard, John. Appreciate you, man.
Hello, hello. And
so we lost the first game, Marion, but because we got disconnected, we'll just, instead of restarting it, we'll just keep going through this.
Cool. So we'll keep going.
We'll keep going. This is game 2 now. We're 0-1, Marion. We gotta get some wins here.
Mark, what's up, my man? Mark Drager said, "What's up, y'all?"
Mark watches because he wants to know how well all the other co-hosts do. Because when I did it with Mark, I won 2 games and I lost 0. So he's happy that he's the only undefeated person right now. So he's tuning in to see how he ranks against other people.
The secret is to just work out. Asks, what are the top 3 necessary skills to master to become successful in YouTube? I guess first, it's also thinking, what does it mean to be successful on YouTube for you? Does it mean to get more customers? Does it mean to get more leads? Does it mean to get more subscribers, or both? Because of course, these 3 are completely different. Successful on YouTube, maybe if you're asking just me personally right now from my experience, I would say, all right, if I can get paid customers from YouTube ads, cool, that means that I'm successful on it. But if we ask Evan, what's your thought on being successful on YouTube? He would say, well, I have my audience on YouTube, I have 2 million subs, that right? So it's all, I guess it's all defining what does it mean for you. What does it mean to be successful on YouTube? But of course, the 3 necessary skills, in my opinion, is content creation, understanding what is your audience, because that was my main struggle. I was trying to do content about pretty much everything, business growth, real estate, all that, until I realized, like, you can't just talk about everything because people will be confused, so you won't be able to take out. And then third is just to implement, because we can watch all the courses and we can read all the books, but if we don't implement, we're not going to be able to get any result.
I like it. I think, one, the willingness to get started. I think there's so many reasons why we don't get started on YouTube. I don't have the right camera. I don't know what gear to do. I look stupid. I don't know what videos to make. And just like living in the land of excuses for all the reasons why you can't start, as opposed to just getting off and starting. Everybody's first video sucks. Go back and watch mine. It's why I kept it up there. You can go back and watch my first video. Is your first video still up, Marion? Did you delete it? Because you removed a whole bunch.
I just made them unlisted. I didn't remove anything, actually. I still have them. My first video, it's unlisted, but I have it. I don't want to I never want to delete it.
Yeah, so mine's not unlisted. You go back and watch the whole thing.
We show it in your webinar, actually, in the new one.
It's brutal, yeah. I mean, it's embarrassing. It's so bad. But just the willingness to get started. Next, expect to suck. Just expect to suck at the beginning. A lot of people expect to be great, and then they're not, and then they quit. We're expected not to be good. It doesn't mean you suck as a human. It just means you don't have the skill set yet. Well, why do you think you're going to be amazing the first time you do it? You're never amazing the first time you do anything. So expect to suck at the beginning. And then third, I would say, just commit yourself to learning every day how to get better. I learned by copying and watching the videos of Tim Schmoyer and Dara Leaves, who are still making content now. They're still making awesome videos, helping people. And they were my first collabs too. I approached them and said, hey, you want to do a collab video? I can come on your channel and talk about Daryl's was how to make money as a speaker through YouTube. And Tim, I've done, I don't know, like 15 videos or so on his channel over the years, different content. So commit to studying how to be better, or get somebody who's going to do it for you, right? Either one.
Love it. Now I just remember one of the questions right before I bounced was, what investments are you looking at right now to, I'm assuming it was right now with all this craziness. So I guess a lot of people ask this question, but before we even ask what investments you should make right now, we should understand first, is our business or is your business bulletproof to what's happening now? Instead of going into a new thing, first looking at what's going on inside, like behind the scenes on your own business, and see if that's bulletproof, cool. You can look at whatever stock, you can look at Bitcoin, you can look at whatever it is that's going down like crazy now. It's not my specialty, so I wouldn't necessarily give some tactical advice because it's not my thing. But I think first we have to understand, like, is our business bulletproof? If not, that's what you should invest all the time.
Dude, have you made that video yet?
Which one?
About bulletproofing your business.
The Corona? No, I got a list of like 10 titles right now to to shoot all the videos.
That's a topic, dude. That's a topic. That's a timely topic for so many service-based experts, businesses, the people who you're targeting, and they're a lot of people for the next quarter, their speaking gigs have been canceled.
True. Yeah. Speakers are the ones that got.
They've been hit
really
hard.
big.
All the events are canceled. Corporate gigs are canceled. Big events are being canceled. And so if you're a speaker, the people who you love helping, they've got nothing to do for the next 3 months until, like, people are saying, okay, August they'll be back on. And then, that's,
you never know whenever that happening back.
if it's
this
March
year.
and you got nothing until August and you're a speaker, some people default to just going back and writing a book, right? That's what I was talking to one guy today. It's what he's doing. He's like, I'm in just book writing mode. But otherwise, it's such a timely for you right now. It's like, don't write a book, guys. Make a course. You got to make your business bulletproof. Bulletproof with Marion. Let's go. You got to get that video. But I think ads too, not just organic video. That's
People actually searching for that.
Yeah, man. Like, can you target speakers on Facebook?
I can. It's an interest. Yeah, public speaker, and again, people liking Bernard Bouchard, Tony Robbins, and then I would leave with one.
You know what? LinkedIn ads might be great for you.
Oh, as a public speaker, and then no, but in my opinion, the easiest is on YouTube right now. Like, search, because I can target search people that search for how to survive as a speaker, how to boom boom boom.
I don't know that people are doing that. I don't think that's the behavior. Like, for who you're trying to target, you're not a mass market guy. You don't want the guy
it's a small. It's not a huge. Yeah.
You want the expert who's kick-ass at what they do, who are already getting good paychecks and doing speaking gigs, who just don't have a course and don't know how to do it. I don't know that they're going to YouTube and saying
and searching for that.
how do I survive like, it seems too beginner of a question, which might be good for a course, but not for a service. But they're probably on LinkedIn now even more because they're trying to get more business for themselves, right?
Connect with.
Their stuff got canceled. Now they got to hustle against the business. And for sure, they put speaker in their bio and like pick their categories and stuff, right? Yeah, I mean, it's definitely pricier, but I think that could be a fun strategy. I think LinkedIn is probably your best bet to hit those people.
We'll definitely I'll just hit them all and see exactly which one gets us the results.
Yeah. All right.
But
cool,
yeah,
man.
I love the I see how the just the idea of like bulletproofing your business.
Oh, it's good. Yeah, it's so good. And the way you delivered it was so good. Yeah, for sure. Bulletproof your business with Marion. It's so timely, dude. You're right on trend with that.
Right on the trend. Dave Silva said, I just had a live interview. Just train to watch yourself after. I think somebody that just had an interview with you. What mistakes have you made in your journey in YouTube?
We're getting lots of this. Well, I didn't get these YouTube marketing questions when I had Mark and Jeremy on. So you're people.
I'm not making them up. They're actually questions.
No, I believe you. I believe you. Okay, mistakes that you made, Marion.
In my YouTube journey. So number one, I wanted to. So I have a couple different expertises, right? So I'm good at marketing. I also do some real estate investing and a couple other things, right? But what happened was, for a couple of months, I was just publishing marketing videos on my channel, like different things, ClickFunnels, ManyChats, all kinds of different things. And then I made a mistake. I said, let me test and see how they do. I posted some real estate investing videos, specifically in short-term rentals like Airbnb and VRBO, and they tanked like big time.
Wait, what was the second one? Airbnb and what?
VRBO.
I don't know what that is.
It's actually better than Airbnb now. It's just not that popular. Yeah, it's essentially the same thing, but they're just, I was looking at, I think last week or 2 weeks ago, I was looking at the reports, and it's bringing way more revenue to the properties that we have. So at a much higher price, But people are not like super familiar with it. It's not that popular as Airbnb. Airbnb just did a great job at marketing. So that was my mistake. Number two, before I just recorded videos on what I thought people want without me, probably for like a year and a half, I didn't even know that I can look at analytics. And I'm the marketing guy.
You're the data guy,
I never looked at analytics and see, all right, this video, I always thought, hey, share screen tutorials is going to kill it because people want to learn step-by-step what to do it. But then I looked, and the video that was bringing the most subscribers was just a whiteboard video where I was teaching the difference between organic and paid traffic. That was the one that was bringing the most subscribers. But I never did another whiteboard video after.
Did you start looking at your data once you came to my event, or were you looking at it?
Yeah. Jeremy showed me at the event during one of the sessions. Hey, so we looked at that right there and then.
Wow, so that was the first time.
Yeah, and that was like, damn, I didn't even know that I can see this stuff. Like,
so are you gonna make more whiteboard videos?
I already recorded like a bunch.
Okay, all right, cool. I like
so
it.
That's you told me, hey, don't do videos about real estate because your channel is not like, if you want to in the future, once you get a big channel, 100K subscribers, whatever, if that's what you want, okay, you can start testing other content, which is probably going to tank anyway because it's going to be more people that are not interested in that. So those are my main mistakes. I never looked at analytics. I never paid attention to things that matter to the channel.
Well, you're
and back on. Yeah, for some reason I was paused.
You haven't even been on. You're lucky. Like you reached out for help. You came and learned and invested and got better quickly. Where a lot of people like stay in that mistake zone for years before they ever make a shift.
I mean, I can only imagine, right? Like how many things I learned in just a few weeks that I never even thought that those actually happen. Like I didn't know that I can look at it. Yeah. What was your
biggest mistake? Yeah, my biggest mistake was doing too much myself.
Editing and all that?
I did everything, like editing, mostly editing. If I was starting over right now, I would just film. Just take out my phone and film. And it doesn't mean to disrespect the editing forever, but me never wanting to get good at editing. It's not my ambition to then spend 20 minutes recording the video and 4 hours editing it is just not the right use of time. It slowed down my growth. So I would going back, just spend the time on what I was good at, which is being in front of the camera, and disrespect everything else. I did a good job on the gear. I didn't get too locked up in the gear. I filmed with whatever I had. So a lot of people get caught up like, oh, until I get the perfect microphone and the perfect whatever, they don't do anything. That wasn't me. I filmed with what I had. And if I didn't have decent gear that day, I still went out and filmed. But the editing was where I spent too much time.
So now I'm going to be selfish. I'm going to ask you a question. How,
All right.
how did you transition from that into explaining what type of editing and what was your vision to the video editor?
So my first editor, I just basically showed my stuff to and said, make this good. And
Similar.
he did a just little bit better version of what I did. Then he got kidnapped.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he got kidnapped. He just disappeared. He just was gone. I don't know. I didn't know what happened. This guy was always responsive on the ball, and then boom, disappeared. Like, what just happened to this? So now I was stuck going back to doing everything myself again. And then after a couple of weeks, okay, I can't just edit the videos. We need to
Get somebody else.
Yeah. So I put out a new job ad, and that's where I ultimately found Christina, who is now still my editor. Her and her husband are my main two editors, and that's been, God, like, I don't know, 9 years or something.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a long time. On my team right now, Christina, I think, is the longest serving person. I knew Christina before I knew Nina. Yeah.
Damn, so I didn't know that you were. So she's great. She does a great job, but I didn't know that she was with you guys for like 9 years now. That's
Oh,
insane.
gee, something like that. I mean, I started my channel April 2009, so that's 11 years ago next month. And
wow, that's crazy.
She came in, yeah, maybe not quite 9, maybe 8, but like it's been a long time. It's been a long time. So I said, hey, here's my videos, and I gave her the raw files. I said, here's what I would normally do. So let me see what you can do. And for those videos, I did everything. Like, I recorded the soundtrack off I made a song off my iPad, and that was the soundtrack for all of our videos. Like, I did everything for them. So then
That's
she
crazy.
came back and she did it. She did the video, but then she also came back and said, here's what you asked me to do, but what you asked me to do kind of sucks. So here's something better too. So like, I like this, right? Not just doing the bare minimum, but also I don't know what I'm doing on the editing side. I'd much rather have somebody tell me, here's what you need to do to fix it up, right? So yeah, that was pretty awesome. And ever since then, it also changed my hiring process, where I love doing that with people, where I give them a chance I want them to show that they're better than me. Like, give me ideas on how to make it better. Even looking at the YouTube course that Marion's helping me with, I'm just trusting in what Marion tells me to do. He's like, I have some ideas and some suggestions that sometimes we use, but for the most part, it's, Marion, what do I do? Like, Evan, record this ad, say this, use this as a call to action. Like, all right, I'll film it right now.
And then things just happen. I just realized one thing. We don't have the pin thing or ask us anything. You want me to write it there, or you want to write it? So I think we haven't got some questions.
I gotta hold on. Let me put that in. I gotta exit my game.
Travis said
questions. All right, go for it.
I think I lost it now. Let me go back.
Pin comment. There you go.
Oh, some legends in here. What's up, man? Cool. Let's see. We got a couple of people that just joined in now, but I think people were not necessarily knowing that we're taking questions. Yeah, he was a.
You got a question for me and Marion? Entrepreneurship, marketing, mindset. Pop it down below. Business. This is your chance. Pop it down below. We're looking for questions. We're going to answer them live for you. Get the growth you need. Let's go.
Boom. Okay. First one. Tommy.
All right.
What is the advice you would give to a new filmmaker? New filmmaker. Well, I guess what is the new advice to get more clients, obviously. So at first is just understanding exactly who you want to work with. Who's the person that you can bring the best ROI, return on investment? So if you deliver a video to let's say a wedding versus if you deliver a video to, let's say a YouTuber that has a lot of subscribers, but maybe their videos are not perfect, and you can know that you can improve maybe their work, or you can improve the content that they create, kind of understand the balance between the two and know what's the best ROI? Is it you creating, videos for local businesses, or versus somebody that, is an influencer already and has a large influence and can bring you more people into it? Or you want to teach something, right? Like you have the skill already. Maybe you don't have a ton of customers, but think about you when you first understood how to use the camera, when you first understood how to use the gear. What is exactly the things that you want? Do you want to do done for you service, or you want to do you want to educate other filmmakers? And then from there, just look at a couple. So right now, from top of my head, I know Parker Walbeck has a big channel just on filmmaking. Look at his channel. He has some great content in there. So he teaches a lot of the new filmmakers how to use their skills to get high-paying customers, and you can get a lot of inspiration from that channel as well. And then just look at competitors. I answered this question right at the beginning of this live. Look at a couple of people that are doing already and just model. Don't steal, of course. Model what they do within your own story, within your own niche. Evan.
This is a really tough one, because a lot of filmmakers have to toe the line between the art and the commercialization. So most people who self-identify as filmmakers that I've met typically want to make awesome films. Like, they want to do documentaries, and they want to do, all of their own artistic projects. They don't like doing commercial work. They don't want to shoot commercial. Weddings is like the death of so many people who are in filmmaking. They don't want to do, same thing with photographers. They don't want to be a wedding photographer, but it pays the bills. And where they struggle is the ability to actually commercialize the knowledge that they have and turn it into something. So you have to figure out what's the end game for you. Like, if you want to make Hollywood movies, you want to be a big time filmmaker, there's so few of those people that you need to be insanely good at it and understand the business side of what you're getting into. Most people don't. If you want to just start a small business and get going, then yeah, weddings are your easiest option. Corporate gigs are next. Down the line of like music videos that pay well and are artistic, but aren't happening that often. Even a lot of the celebrity photographers still end up, unless you're like right at the top, are still doing boring corporate headshots that they hate doing, and commercial work that there's no creativity in. It's just some CEO at a company and super boring. So this is where a lot of people really struggle. So I would look at two things. One, I would try to find somebody who's doing what you want to do and get as close to that sun as possible. Like, who is the person in your city who's doing anything close to what you're doing, and try to stick with them and learn. So maybe you're working for them full time, maybe you're working for them part time, but you need to understand the business side of making videos and not just the artistic, fun, creative side of it. And two, I'd start making your own stuff immediately and learning. Like, I had a guy, Danny, on my team who was making content for a good chunk of time for me. But what he struggled with was also making titles and thumbnails. Like, you didn't know what to call it, and you didn't know what the picture should be. Well, if you want people to watch your video, you have to know what to put on the cover. And in a big company, great, that's going to be taken care of. But when you're by yourself, you have to know what you're doing. And so you have to decide, if you're going to be on your own and have success, then you're going to have to cover a lot of roles and start being good at things. Or you just become a cog in the machine, and you just become a camera operator and slowly work your way up. You don't develop any of the other skills, but you get time on the camera. Really hard. So many people just get stuck doing weddings and never get out of it, and it breaks my heart.
Jazz is asking, how can you get into consulting gigs, or how can you get consulting gigs? Helping significant organizations to understand the world, what people need to shift product, but also to contribute socially. So I'll go into the kind of technical part of it on how you can get consulting gigs. I guess the best platform for doing that is LinkedIn, especially because you want to, helping significant organizations. Make a list of, let's say, 20 to 50 organizations that you want to consult with. Of course, the first thing that they'll probably want to see, there'll be some experience or some recommendations from other organizations that you've done work with. And at first, don't make a list of the highest or the biggest in town. Make a list of maybe smaller organizations, right? At first, you can even maybe do one or two for free so you can get the testimonial from it, so you can get the proof that you actually can help those organizations. So at first, it's going to take a little hustle. Go on LinkedIn and literally just look and do some research on that organization. And ideally, you even want to create, 4 pieces of content that you post on your LinkedIn account before you reach out to them. Because typical, the behavior that people have on LinkedIn, when you send them a message, they'll click on your profile and see what you're about. So if the profile is not optimized in the bio saying that you help these organizations with this, and that, have a banner, have a professional, headshot because it's LinkedIn. On the banner, try to make it relevant to them, like what do they actually care? You can use Canva, it's a free tool that you can use to design the banner. And then have, the videos posted on your LinkedIn account. This is the profile, not the page, before you start reaching out to them. And then make a list. At first, like I said, you may need to do 1-2 consulting gigs for free. But ask this, you go and do it for free, as long as they can give you a testimonial if you did a great job, right? Then you take that, and now you have some social proof that you can go and reach out to others to actually get some paid gigs. Also, right now, right in this moment, it'll probably be a really good idea to understand how can you help that organization without you having to be there in person, and how you can help those employees online in a group.
Bulletproof your business.
If you weren't here earlier, Evan loves this this whole concept of bulletproofing your business right now with all the coronavirus craziness. So you reach out to them, and you can even be specific. Now it's a great time because they're gonna be responsive, because they it's probably hard to do gatherings and things, so they won't accept you in person. But you can say, hey, I'll do a free consulting call with all your employees, through Zoom, through Skype, to whatever, in a Facebook group, probably through Zoom will be the best. Whatever, the tool is a tool. It won't solve the problem, but the approach, I think, it will save you a lot of time.
So
I
come at a couple angles. The first is definitely paid ads that Marion just talked about. So you're targeting people. The more you know about them, the easier it is to target them. So whether it's organization roles like, head of marketing or CFOs or marketing consultants, like whoever it is that you're targeting, paid ads against them is an easy first start. I'd be looking at partnerships. Who is already talking to these guys, and how can you get on the radar of the super connector, so that if they talk about you, they're going to make lots of introductions for you. So if you were targeting entrepreneurs, for example, I'd be trying to line up meetings with accountants and lawyers and bookkeepers, because what do they do all day long is deal with entrepreneurs. And I want them to know what I'm doing, so that if they come across an entrepreneur who might need my help, I want them to know who I am, right? And so it's a great local way to get started. You just look up business lawyer in Toronto, right, where I'm in, or accountant in Boston, and you'll see this giant list, and you say, hey, I'd like to come and learn more about your business, because I serve entrepreneurs too, and maybe there's a way we can help each other, right? It's a lot easier to get a yes to a partnership meeting than it is to just try to close them on something. Okay? And if you do a good job, then they're off telling your business to all of their clients, or at least anytime you see there's a fit. And then the third thing would be a longer term play, which would be organic content, right? So start posting your content about whatever you're an expert at, share case studies, do live coaching and consulting, on Instagram, even on YouTube, making content, posting it so that people find you. So that when somebody's looking, you're the name that shows up. That's a better strategy when you can handle, when you've bulletproofed your business with Marion and you're ready to take on an international or at least national audience as opposed to just Boston, then having a content strategy using especially YouTube and Instagram, I think could be a good play.
Amir Victor Official, what's the best strategy to build an audience from scratch? Number one, I guess it's either one or two topics that you know exactly you are, ideally just one. What are you the best at? And every time when I struggle with, what to talk about or what do people are searching for, I use
We
a
won!
tool.
Hey, we won!
Boom.
We won! All right. Marion is 1-1. Marion is 1-1. Okay, we'll quickly wrap this one up and then we'll go to the next one. Okay, yeah, go for it. What's the fastest way?
Build an audience, yeah. So I use a tool called Keywords Everywhere, and I look at what people are searching for to know exactly what are people interested in. And then I go and do research exactly on what do people want to know about. But then I look at the channels that kind of show up and see who's the expert. Like if I do this on YouTube right now, how to get clients, it'll probably give me about 2,000 searches a month. And if I start and make a list of the 10 channels that show up, it will give me a really good idea of what other experts in my industry are talking about, just so I know and have an idea about what the content that I should create. Now, that's number one. Number two, those videos, you can, in my opinion, I think it's easily to start promoting them on Facebook and IG on 1-minute videos, because it's easier for people to kind of wrap their head around on what's this strategy. Like for $1 a day, you can have an ad that's getting a couple hundred views every single day. And it's just literally, you post it organically, like natively on the platform, and then you boost it to your competitors, quote unquote. Like if you're a motivational speaker, you boost it against Evan Carmichael and Tony Robbins and Brendan Bouchard, and people in their audience will see the video and they'll say, hey, I like it or I don't like it. And then you'll get feedback and you'll get it from there.
And just quickly, from an organic perspective, I would say make content that the younger you needs to see. So make content that you struggled with. Good. So for me, a lot of my stuff, I just think back to who I was at 19 when I was struggling as an entrepreneur, and I try to make content for that guy. Like I wish that I had my channel, my videos when I was 19 in my first business. And so just try to think of who you were, what you were struggling with, and speak to that person. Create a channel or content that you would subscribe to. Too many people are just posting promotions and just throwing stuff up. Would you actually subscribe to you? Like if your account existed, I would subscribe. Like I didn't want to create my account. I wish Marion made my YouTube videos. Then I would just subscribe and I would just watch them and consume it. But nobody made what I was making, so I made it. So would you subscribe to you? So look at your Instagram, look at your YouTube, look at your Twitter, wherever you're posting content. Would you follow you? Would you be a fan? Right? And for too many people, it's no. So like if you're not even gonna follow you and love your stuff, why do you think other people are gonna love your stuff? And then super quick last one I would say is respond to everybody who leaves a comment, engage with them. If somebody follows you, when I was building on my IG audience, even though I had a big YouTube audience, when people followed me, I would go and send them a DM and say, hey, thank you so much for following me. I appreciate it. Next, right? Hey, Jimmy, thank you so much for following me. I really appreciate it. Send. Next. And I would do them whenever I had time. One of my favorite spots was whenever we went to Costco. I hate going to Costco. It's like my least favorite thing in the world. And so often my wife, Nina, would go in Costco. I would sit in the car, and for the 40 minutes, however long she was in there, just do video DMs to people who followed me recently or who recently liked the stuff or commented on one of my recent posts. Hey, Marion, thank you so much for leaving that awesome comment on my post. I really appreciate you, man. Send. Next. Like, it takes 8 seconds to do that, but it builds a really loyal following. And then if you send a video like that, if I sent that to Marion, he might have just kind of liked my post. But if I send him a video, he's like, oh, man, like, he made me a video to thank me. Like, who does that? Nobody, right? So now he's much more likely to look at what else I'm posting and engage with my other stuff, which then triggers the algorithm because your followers are being hyper engaged with your stuff. So every platform then starts to promote it more, right? So that's how it tackles from an organic perspective.
This is powerful, man. I got to do this too. I don't know. I ever heard somebody saying this.
All right. Okay. We're going to end this one. We're going to start my third game, our third IG Live. Come on back in 5 seconds and ask your questions. Let's go.